I'd like to give you a little bit about the history of psychology and clinical psychology. You know, way back after World War I, World War II, they didn't know how to deal with veterans, they didn't know how to put people back into the workforce, and a lot of money was infused into psychology to help deal with that bridge. And so clinical and counseling psychology got a lot of money, particularly after World War II. And the whole thing that comes up for psychology is, who are the real doctors? Psychologists has this kind of neurotic comparison with MDs constantly, and particularly early in the 50s and 60s and 70s, differentiating psychologists from MDs and then dealing with parity in practice have been paramount issues. So we're like the other doctor. We're not like the real doctor. You're not a real doctor. You're like the other doctor has always been the complex of psychology. And as a result, what happens is that within that complex, you're always on the defensive, never on the offensive. And so a lot of the positioning of psychology has been that way until about the mid-80s and 90s, when we kind of woke up and said, wait a minute, we need parity, we need equal rights in hospitals, we can do practice independently from MDs, we don't need to be supervised. And there was more of a proactive advocacy from a political sense, because it's the legislature that holds the license, not the association. And so if the state legislature says this is what the scope of practice is, that's what it is. And so psychology, which never wanted to do, suddenly began to get involved in advocacy in terms of having the legislature and the law address the practice of psychologists as freestanding and with parity and proper recognition for reinsurance reimbursements, as well as Medicare, Medi-Cal, or Medicaid in other states and things like that. And that's how it's evolved over time.